Hello and welcome to BetaDen's Cohort 3 Showcase. I'm Linda Smith, CEO of BetaDen. Thank you for registering for this broadcast version of the virtual showcase we've put together to promote the phenomenal progress made by Cohort 3 founders using the route to market modelling we've based BetaDen's principles on. It's also to make a request to you in the audience today to consider how you may be able to offer support to any of the founders by introducing these new and emerging commercial technology solutions to industries or investment network contacts you may have. For BetaDen's third and final pilot technology accelerator program scheduled for 2020, we could never have planned what would be delivered throughout a global pandemic and operate through 3 national lockdowns. But amazingly, we started with 8 diverse early stage technology businesses, and today you'll see we complete with the full 8 founders who have strived and thrived for the full 9 months. It's an impressive set of pitches that will energize any fatigued mind to the potential the variety of technology holds. It would be repetitive to state the obvious around the challenging environment for any business, but for early stage businesses, it is statistically evident the investment markets are pacier and hungry for emerging tech, and here we can clearly demonstrate the first milestone targets are achieved and surpassed in adaptive accelerator programs. I'm immensely proud to report that not only has BetaDen been able to sustain delivery of this accelerator, but as you will see, it's also evident that Cohort 3 founders have made considerable commercial progress. BetaDen is on track as it completes the pilot phase and prepares to onboard Cohort 4 in April. From our launch in July 18, we positioned Worcestershire's ambition to develop the technology economy and increase opportunities to offer entrepreneurship in the form of a commercial technology accelerator. We're now progressing to the next stage of development with Worcestershire's commercial 5G testbed included in the offer, the introduction of industry partners to support the commercial reality of the new technologies being developed, with some exciting future strategic partnerships in the pipeline. Our development intention is to make BetaDen a sustainable public-private entity, which will bring to life our strapline, real help for real tech. So for today's broadcast, I hope you enjoy today's 8 pitch deck presentations, all very different, all with real technology-based products and solutions for the digital world we're living in and adapting services for. If you have questions you'd like to ask any of the founders, please submit via the live chat to the right of your screen. The BetaDen team will manage the Q&A session following the last pitch deck. The founders will be panelists and you'll be able to provide short responses. First up, we have Blockmart Technologies Limited. Blockmart Technologies is a high-tech startup founded by 2 experienced entrepreneurs, Tom Alcott and Adrian Burden. Their technology provides an intuitive, cloud-based management platform for certificates and credentials along with blockchain integration for improved data assurance.
Hello, I'm Tom Alcott, founding CEO of Blockmart Technologies with a background in social network analytics and food supply chains. I'm going to tell you a little about the problems of certificates, and my colleague Adrian will then show you our solution. Take a moment to think about it and you'll realise that the world is full of certificates. They fall on us like confetti from the moment we're born until the day we die. Individuals receive birth certificates, academic qualifications, membership cards, and now with the pandemic, you will have heard a lot about vaccination certificates. Organisations also accrue plenty of certificates over their lifetime too, from incorporation through to accreditation, insurance, compliance, quality management, and so on. In fact, certificates are also issued to objects or assets like cars and houses, for example, MOT certificates and energy performance certificates, and also to products like importation certificates, certificates of conformity, and warranties. The world really is full of certificates. At first glance, certificates look simple. For example, when you pass your driving test, you receive your certificate of competence, a driving licence in this case. But behind that document is a whole network of interdependent certificates. There are organisations, for example, that oversee the quality of the driving schools and the safety of the learners' vehicles. The driving examiner needs to have up-to-date qualifications and public liability insurance. He or she also needs other health and safety certificates like DBS, safeguarding, first aid at work. The car itself must have a current MOT without which you won't get road tax or insurance, and so on. The learner driver will have needed a birth certificate or some other form of identification document to have applied for a provisional driving licence, and then there's a certificate to show you've recently passed the theory exam so that they can take the driving test itself. If any one of these many certificates becomes out of date or issued incorrectly or fraudulently, the whole process falls apart. And this web of certificate dependencies applies to many scenarios in our personal lives, for businesses as well as for assets we own, buy or sell. So it's time to organise certificates in a modern digital way, just as the iPod organised thousands of songs conveniently in your pocket. Blockmart is organising certificates so that you can control them better, and my colleague Adrian will now explain how.
Thank you, Tom. I'm Dr. Adrian Burden, the founding CTO of Blockmart Technologies with experience in anti-counterfeiting technology and cybersecurity. So, given all that you've just heard in the world of certificates, there are just two key players, right? Those that issue certificates and those that receive them. In fact, no. The main reason for certificates is that they can and should be inspected and verified, and the verifier really needs to consult the issuer to make sure that the claims are valid. This can be quite difficult with old-style paper certificates because they get mislaid, it's costly and inconvenient to go back and check the original records, and fraud is all too easy. So, going digital is a good step forward. Having a certificate that can be displayed on a smartphone and links back to the issuer's original record closes the loop, like the yellow fever vaccination card that we've digitised onto a mobile phone. An added complexity is that many people and organisations perform two or all three of the roles in the ecosystem. Sometimes you receive certificates, sometimes you want to verify others, and then you may even want to issue certificates of your own. And so, we introduce you to Blockmart Registry, our web application that makes managing all aspects of certificates intuitive and efficient. Our online dashboard allows you to manage your own personal certificates alongside those links to organisations you work for and assets that you own and manage. The system enables you to organise and track certificates that you've issued, organise those that you've received, and record any that you've verified. As an issuer, you can create and edit your certification schemes, and then you can issue, suspend, revoke or renew individual certificates as appropriate in real time. You can even update the certificate badge on the fly to reflect any updates of your branding. For the recipient, we provide privacy and sharing controls, enabling them to send a time-limited link or store their credential conveniently in the smartphone wallet, just as you do with a boarding pass or a ticket. And the certified organisation can display their credential on an email footer or website as a smart widget that not only disappears when it expires, but can be clicked for more real-time information. And finally, for the verifier, we provide an audit trail to record the due diligence in case of an issue. These records can even be immutably stamped on the blockchain for added peace of mind. Within BetaDen, we trialled COVID-19 health certification that recorded staff, cohort members and visitors entering the facility, greatly reducing compliance paperwork. This was also a great way to obtain user feedback and improve the user interface. It also aligned well with our Innovate UK grant to develop COVID test and vaccination certificates. IASME Consortium are already issuing a range of cybersecurity certificates from our platform, accrediting both individuals and organisations. The clean water charity Frank Water is managing their proof of giving badges that they issue to their network of donors. We're also working with Verifim, one of the other BetaDen cohort members who certify the energy performance of buildings, as well as ensuring their test engineers are suitably qualified. And also through BetaDen, we're collaborating with Coho, as they create and issue membership certificates for the UK Co-Living Association. Finally, we are certifying the supply chain for vegan surf wax originating from South Africa so that the provenance of the product can be demonstrated to distributors and end users. So, if you'd like to better manage any aspect of certification within your organisation, whether that is for the certificates you issue or those that you receive, please do get in touch. Or, if you'd just like to log on and explore things for yourself, please visit registry.blockmarktech.com. Thank you for listening, and we look forward to your feedback.
Thank you, Adrian. Next up, we have Steve Borwell Fox, founder name Telr Limited, a 5G-enabled mobile workforce app that has evolved in BetaDen to test and evaluate the next generation customer market.
Imagine a business where there are people scheduling jobs to multiple properties across a wide geographical region, different people, air conditioning engineers, mobile trade workers such as electricians, carpenters, plumbers, As these people go about their business, they're collecting paper, forms, receipts. All of this is latent cash that needs to be invoiced back at their head office. I'm Steve Borwell Fox, and Telr is looking for people and customers to help accelerate our business. The solution is Connect, taking those piles of paper and getting rid of those completely, turn them into a digital platform and managing all the jobs effectively in one place. So, give an example of a case study for a customer. This is a housing association called North Devon Homes. Imagine a tenant in their property and their lovely kitchen is getting flooded. They phone the property maintenance team at the housing association and they talk to someone who schedules the job. They use Connect to schedule the job into the calendar. They get the right skilled worker at the right location, and immediately that information about the job is pushed out to the plumber who's got the app in their pocket. All the job schedule is on their app, and also the job details are there too, with historic information about that property. As they go about their business and doing their job, they can be tracked in the job status and geographically too, so the scheduler can give updates to the tenant. The output of that, happy tenants, their kitchen's fixed and the plumber's done their job effectively and quickly. Happy customers. This is a testimonial from North Devon Homes. All my surveys used to be done with pen and paper. Now it's all on Connect. I have more time and I'm more productive as a result. Rob Plevell, he's the void surveyor there, and he manages empty properties and gets them shipshape ready for the next lovely family to move in. So who is Connect for? Connect is for people who are managing multiple properties, vehicles, assets. We even had one company who look after office plants where they have to prune them and water them, and they use the system for that too. They're people that want to remove paper and forms completely. They want to be a more efficient and more digital business. They want to free up time. They want to improve accuracy and also improve trust in their data. They need a single enterprise view of their operations so they can plan more effectively. And they need to conform to their legal obligations, electrical safety tests, gas certificates, and also the employers of these companies, they've got to look after their mobile workers from a health and safety perspective too, and the platform helps support that. So Connect consists of three main components: the mobile app, used by the trades workers, Connect Manager, used by the schedulers, and Connect Server brings it all together. Connect Server actually has got a really powerful interface, and we interface out of the box with Sage CRM, Sage 50, and many other applications. We also interface with a housing management system called OmniLedger, and it's absolutely brilliant. It's used by over 140 companies across the UK in the housing association sector. But the thing to focus on this slide is the Travis Perkins interface here. So Bromford have a fleet of vehicles with a maintenance team, and they go out and do their work. As they use items off the vehicle, the interface here automatically replenishes their stock when they next go back to the depot by placing orders automatically through the Travis Perkins interface. So what are the selling points of Connect? Well, there are many, but these are the top three to focus on. The smart scheduler, the ability to schedule jobs into the right geographical area with the right trade skill. The automatic timesheets. As the mobile workers are doing their business with the mobile app, it's filling in their timesheet in the background automatically. So you don't need a separate app to go alongside Connect. And the map feature was really powerful. Being able to see where the depot is, the workers and the jobs allows you to make very quick decisions about who does which job. So how was the BetaDen experience? It was absolutely brilliant. There are far too many positive aspects to cover in this presentation, but the key ones for me were properly preparing you for a business acceleration, really focusing you on the right direction before you grow and accelerate your business. Absolutely superb network of suppliers. We've had great advice from MFG solicitors about trademarking, and Brand Refinery have helped us with our digital content and our market research online. There's an enthusiastic, supportive peer network. The other businesses on the cohort, they're also tech businesses. They've got different opportunities, but they've got the same challenges. And the value of that peer network is absolutely brilliant. And the experienced mentors guiding and advising you through BetaDen, 1 hour a month with Duncan Knight soon put me back on the straight and narrow and kept me focused on our acceleration plan. So highly recommend BetaDen if you want to effectively grow your tech business. So what are we actually pitching for? So to accelerate and scale, Telr needs the following. We need a Chief Operations Officer to join and scale the business. Policies, procedures, templates, systems, all of that needs to be owned by this person. We need a Chief Marketing Officer who can own the marketing and sales function, get the testimonials and case studies from the existing customers and help put them in front of the right prospects. We need software and app developers. We've got a brilliant team of 3 at the moment. We need to double that team and find some more great people to help us. And we need customer introductions. These are absolutely vital for small businesses. And we need channel partners. We've got 1 channel partner in South Africa. We want to replicate that across other regions across the world. Thank you very much. I'm Steve Borwell Fox from Telr, and we're here to connect your business.
Thanks, Steve. Next up, we have Ellie Busby, founder name Vojo, today pitching her app-based technology for personalised plant-based diets based on DNA. With BetaDen, Vojo has developed an application that uses AI to generate a personalised vegan meal plan and lifestyle advice based on the user's DNA.
Eating plant-based isn't just for vegans and hippies. I'm Ellie, environmental chemist turned plant-based nutritionist. Today, I'm asking you to invest in Vojo, society's health and our planet's future. Let me tell you about Catherine. She wants to go plant-based because she wants to do what's best for her health while doing her bit for the environment. But she doesn't want to be one of the 84% of people who give up in the first 12 months. She's overwhelmed by all the conflicting information online though. Who should she trust? She gave up on nutrient trackers because they took too much time. She looked into diet plans too, but they seem so restrictive. And how does she even know that they're giving her everything she needs? My surveys and conversations with customers show Catherine is not alone. These are the 3 biggest problems plant-based eaters have. Over half the population are interested in plant-based eating, and 1 in 3 people are actively reducing their meat consumption in the UK. But plant-based diets can be low in several key nutrients. It's a challenge to get all the nutrition you need without planning, and there's not one perfect diet for everyone. There's too much general advice and not enough personalised support. We believe eating plants should be easy. Vojo helps you eat more plant-based while ensuring you're getting all the nutrients you need to be healthy. We have a 3-stage solution. I'll take you through it with an example. First, our proprietary algorithm personalises Catherine's nutrient requirements by combining genetic analysis with an online consultation about her current diet, symptoms and health goals. Next, Catherine follows her step-by-step action plan. Her health score improves and she earns points for choosing recipes high in the nutrients she needs. She follows her peers for ideas and motivation. Thirdly, we send her a blood testing kit in the post to check her nutrient levels in real time. Her next consultation shows she's eating more of the nutrients she needs and she feels better too. This can have a profound impact on society. Eating more plants is the most impactful thing you can do to improve your health, reduce your risk of chronic illness, and reduce your impact on the environment, as long as you're getting all the nutrients you need. Our total available market are the 2 billion people worldwide interested in plant-based eating. 238 million of those are in Europe, and 60 million are between 18 and 34 years old and interested in personalised health. This is our serviceable, obtainable market. Plant-based solutions on the market only provide general advice. Nutrient trackers are time-consuming, and private testing companies don't provide human support or cater for the plant-based market. Vojo is the only personalised plant-based health service on the market. We're different because we motivate behaviour change with reward-based features and provide a human support network. Our initial B2C revenue model. Catherine clicks on her ad to find out a plant-based health score and joins Health for free. After completing semi-personalised actions to improve her diet and learning how her genes impact her needs, she upgrades to Pro and takes the DNA test. As she goes through significant changes in her life, such as her pregnancy, she upgrades to Elite to make sure she's getting everything just right. We currently have a 10% conversion rate from free to paid programs, and we expect about 1/5 of our customers to be on Elite at any one time. Stage 1 of our go-to-market strategy, nailing our B2C offering. We'll be partnering with health professional organisations to build credibility and scale the one-to-one support Vojo offers. In stage 2, we'll form a tech partnership to implement machine learning into the back end and tap into third-party integrations on the front end to boost value and improve the accuracy of our recommendations. In stage 3, we'll be the go-to platform to find plant-based health professionals, personalised foods, customised supplements, and more. We'll form alliance partnerships across academia, health, food and pharma to reach a worldwide user base. Our detailed financial projections support a strong growth trajectory based on a realistic rate of customer acquisition to show an exciting level of profitability within 2 to 3 years. Today, we're raising £300,000 in seed capital to build our MVP, implement our marketing strategy, and take us to another investment round in 2022. Interest in personalised health products is on the rise, and this is your chance to get involved in the first personalised plant-based health tech company on the market. From myself, a clinical nutritionist, to Chris, our lead developer, and Will, our data scientist, we are the team to bring this solution to market. Plus, we'll be using investment funds to build a highly capable marketing team. With no paid marketing, we've already gained over 600 free users and 60 paid users, as well as a few thousand social media followers. We're also getting £20,000 in grant investment from our local council and are taking part in 2 competitive accelerators, BetaDen on the tech side of things and Impact Central focusing on impact. Our vision is to be the go-to platform for personalised plant-based health and well-being. If you like what you've heard, get in touch and help us pioneer the plant-based health tech space. Thank you.
Thanks, Ellie. Next up, we have Phil Rush, founder name Hetronomics. Today, pitching their core fintech platform, Hetronomics are providing macroeconomic research and data services to financial market participants globally. With BetaDen, they have created a platform for delivering accurate forecasts of macroeconomic indicators as a fintech enhancement.
Here at Hetronomics, we produce macroeconomic research for portfolio managers and other financial market participants. We help our sophisticated clients from all over the world to consistently outperform the rest of the market. We do this by combining economics with data science through our platform. Now, I've been doing this for 15 years, mostly on the sales side, traveling around the world, seeing clients. Appearing on TV and other media were an unavoidable part of that. But that side is of no interest to me. Chasing headlines simply does not help clients who are chasing profits. More generally, we recognise that economists alone don't have all the answers, especially now there is so much data available. So we marry economics with data science, and we house them securely with a strong development team. And then we partner for success. This has been our approach on our journey through the BetaDen accelerator over the past year. When I first applied for BetaDen, I was merely a one-man band with a small team of contractors supporting. Since then, we've used the support of the great mentors, and we've scaled to now have 6 employees and a much wider team of supporting contractors. This has also led to us securing funding from Amazon Web Services. We're now building on their incredible infrastructure with our cloud development partner, Steamhouse. And we have agreed to broaden the range of clients we're serving through a channel partnership with Smart Karma. That is set to broaden our coverage into Asia from Europe and indeed our home here in the UK. Underlying all our services are data and consistently accurate forecasts. They feed the uniform services we offer in our written analysis and the various interactive dashboards on our website. We are also always happy to help translate this into the specific situations of our clients, whether that be through personal calls, email requests, or scenario simulations through our large-scale models. We want to fit in with your investment process. And in almost all cases, this is simply included as part of the subscription. And our approach works. For example, our combined model of French inflation is both contrary to the consensus and correct on 20% of all releases in recent years, with 3 percentage points of cumulative outperformance. Over 1 percentage point of that excess return was last year alone, with our extremely disaggregated, data-led approach set to thrive in the current environment. Indeed, we've already had a strong start to 2021. Of course, that is only one indicator in one country. We currently do the same across 21 other countries and continue to expand. Such consistent outperformance is achieved through the mix of economics and data science on our platform. We use our platform to provide constant coverage with thousands of forecasts and market-relevant indicators continually updating. That means clients can get up-to-date forecasts or see high-frequency leading indicators whenever they want. Moreover, it will soon be possible to simulate specific alternative scenarios through our massive modelling infrastructure directly on the website. To help highlight developing themes and upcoming event risks to clients, we also package up a range of these signals into a weekly. Here we explain how the outlook is evolving and why, along with where we see things differently in releases for the week ahead. We then use our deep understanding of the data to find the most relevant thematic insights with a focus on the things that really matter to markets. For example, we cover inflation and monetary policy with an intense level of detailed rigour that you won't find anywhere else. We know the data, we understand methodological issues and policy reaction functions. Plus, we can place it in the proper economic context across multiple releases and countries. Nor do we shy away from taking a view. On the contrary, we actively seek to highlight and justify to clients where we are seeing things differently to the market narrative. Your time is valuable, so we always want to help you access the most interesting market-relevant views in a way that fits with your process. But don't just take my word for it. The former chair of the Office for Budget Responsibility, and no stranger to impartial assessment, described our research as consistently the most interesting we see. If you, or someone you know, want to see what our clients are enjoying, let's talk. We want to demonstrate how we combine economics and data science on our platform to deliver consistently accurate views in a way that works best for you. In fact, we're so keen to provide you with a consistent source of outperformance that we'd be pleased to offer you a free trial of our services. That way, you can start to experience for yourself the value of what we're sharing with clients all over the world. Thank you.
Thanks, Phil. Next up, we have John Hurley, founder name Coho. Coho provides effortless HMO management, connecting compatible tenants and minimising vacancy rates. In BetaDen, Coho have built a next-generation PropTech platform that enables flexible and effortless end-to-end management of an HMO, a house of multiple occupancy, through AI-driven automation.
Hello, I'm John Hurley, COO and co-founder of Coho, a new HMO management platform. We're primarily looking for HMO landlords, operators and letting agents who need to use software to manage their HMO properties. Clearly we're not going to turn down investment, but for us that focus is later in 2021. So the first question that's usually on everyone's lips at this point in the presentation is, what is an HMO? Put simply, it's a house share or a property that is rented out room by room. At one end of the spectrum of HMOs, you've got bed sits and social housing, and at the other end, you've got beautifully designed, well-appointed co-living spaces. Coho caters for them all. We're a marketplace business. You've probably heard of a couple of those already. Uber, the biggest taxi company in the world with no taxis. Airbnb, the biggest hotel company with no hotels. We don't have their problems of having to work with both audiences simultaneously. So our strategy is to grow the management side of the business, attract property managers who need software to run their business, and then find the funds and the wherewithal to address the consumer end of the business later on, once we have a decent market share. So the problem for most people trying to run an HMO is that there is no single comprehensive system for them to use to do that. There are many different tools and services that they have to use for the property, for the tenancies. And that means that someone who is a property owner, investor, become a landlord, now has to be a tech enthusiast. They have to build their own stack and their own processes to manage their business, which isn't a great place to be. The solution is Coho, where we're going to put everything, including the management of IoT devices, in one place. For property managers, this means that they don't have to integrate multiple tools and services, and for tenants it means that they don't have to have an app for this and an app for that to be able to report their repair and maintenance issues or pay their rent. There's a really straightforward pricing model. It's £1 per room per month. In addition, there are automated services that landlords and operators can use, such as arranging a gas safety certificate through Coho, or arranging for a cleaner to visit the property that they'll pay additional costs for. And operators and larger agents will also pay a monthly subscription to access more features. So I briefly mentioned co-living a few slides ago. Co-living is a solution to an ever-increasing problem of a lack of affordable housing. We are building fewer and fewer properties, and people are increasingly unable or unwilling to live alone, a situation made even more tangible in the last 12 months. So co-living is a solution to this, allowing people to live together in a home and not in a room in a house. Co-living is not about design, it's about community, and it's about people's individual living experience. Coho enables property managers to embed co-living methods in how they rent and manage their properties. In terms of our journey, BetaDen came just at the right time for us. The amazing proof of concept grant enabled us to extend our runway, and access to the mentors has given us real and significant help and advice just when we've needed it. Despite COVID, the Science Park shared office space has allowed us to collaborate with the existing current cohort and also past cohort members. We launched our solution fully in January, and we have 800 rooms under management already. We think of where we've got to at this point as being part of one big team. We've built a trusted relationship with an enthusiastic and complementary bunch of early adopters, and we have a team behind the software of people who are experienced at building successful marketplace businesses. In summary, Coho is the only comprehensive HMO and property and tenancy management solution. We believe that by allowing people not just to hold data, but also to free up their valuable time, that we can allow property investors to be investors again and not landlords and administrators. Thanks for listening.
Thanks, John. Next up, we have Andrew Reese, founder name Whitebox. Whitebox is a proprietary live debugging tool for software and provides real-time feedback as programmers edit their code, encouraging faster iteration and maintenance flow. In BetaDen, Andrew has developed the commercial route to market for this technology to industry users.
Hi, I'm Andrew Reese, the founder and lead developer of Whitebox Systems. We're making Whitebox, a tool to show software developers how their code behaves in real time as they write it, which I started work on to fix frustrations I'd experienced from a decade of programming using my background in ergonomics and human factors design. I'm here to find developer studios interested in shaping the future of programming tools and university lecturers who could trial Whitebox with their students. I'm also looking for specialists in bringing software to market to come on board the Whitebox team. The world is increasingly reliant on software. You probably run most of your life on it, particularly if you're one of the many people who's recently moved to working at home. And in industry, it's used everywhere from logistics to medical machinery. Unfortunately, software is full of bugs. I'm sure you've experienced crashes and inscrutable error messages. The issues bugs cause range in severity from frustrating to financially damaging to fatal, as with the recent Boeing plane crashes. The costs of buggy software are huge. At the economy scale, over $2 trillion was lost in the US in 2020 due to poor quality software. And it's expensive at the scale of the company and individual programmer as well, with a Cambridge study showing that half of development time is spent debugging. Unfortunately, it's not a problem that's fixing itself. one study found that massive software failures are happening at an increasing rate. So, what's the underlying problem here? Fundamentally, programming is hard. Our human brains are not good at pretending to be computers, so even experienced programmers frequently make errors. As a result, we have to rely on tools to check that the code does what we expect. It takes a long time to get feedback with current debugging tools, which haven't changed much for multiple decades. You can think of writing code as a bit like writing the recipe for a cake. After you've written it, you still need to mix all the ingredients together, put them in the oven, and wait for it to bake. Only then can you try it and see if it tastes as you expect. If it doesn't taste quite right, you have to change a few items on the recipe and go through the whole process again. What you really want to be able to do is change the text of the recipe and immediately be able to taste the new version of the cake. This is what Whitebox lets programmers do with their code. The feedback that existing debuggers provide also tends to be inadequate. It's normally text only and only shows data for single instance in time. This is a bit like trying to understand a spreadsheet, where you're limited to only ever seeing a single row at once. What you really need is to be able to see the context of the data in the rest of the spreadsheet, or even better, graph how the data changes across time. Whitebox lets programmers do both of these. I've created Whitebox to address these issues. It helps give developers a deeper understanding of how their and their team's code works, with visual models that allow for a big picture view and drilling down into the details. Immediate feedback means that many bugs can be caught as they're introduced, preventing more time wasted down the line. Developers are constantly making small design decisions, and because Whitebox reduces the time to get feedback on these from minutes to seconds, a huge amount of time and frustration can be saved over the days and weeks of development. So how does Whitebox do this? It compiles, runs, and debugs the small section of code being worked on in the background, and is always available to show you how your code behaves as you change it. Because Whitebox captures the entire run of a function, it can show how data values evolve across time. Here's a screenshot of Whitebox's current alpha release. There's a lot going on, so I'll just pick out a few key points. The code editor is on the left, and Whitebox is on the right. Whitebox runs in a separate application and can connect to lots of different editors via plugin, so users don't have to lose muscle memory or disrupt the rest of their workflow to incorporate it. I'll also point out the graph of a variable's value changing over time, as well as a timeline interface similar to those found in video editing software that shows the context of other data values and their changes. I'm very proud of the feedback we've received from early users, which affirms that people are actually seeing the benefits we've intended, as well as changing people's perception of their interaction with the computer. Most gratifying is the feedback that echoes our aim of reinvigorating the software development process. Let's take a glance at how Whitebox fits in with existing tools for improving code correctness and understanding. There are a number of points in the programming process where tools can provide feedback. While planning the code, while writing it, while running the application, or at any and all times in the background. Whitebox does not replace the primary use case for any existing tool, but fills a gap where currently there are only partial workarounds, when you want to quickly check the code you've just written does what you expect. Regarding tests, developers are often aware of their benefits, but are unwilling to put in the time up front. One nice side effect of the way Whitebox works is that you'll end up getting unit tests for free. And when things do go wrong, it's not just a black box that tells you what has failed. Whitebox can show you why they failed as well. Although Whitebox's technology does not preclude other languages, the initial focus is on C and C++, which are the dominant compiled languages, particularly in game development and safety-critical industries. Game development is an initial focus because it has existing cultural norms, unlike other market segments, where speed of innovation has inculcated both a requirement and willingness to spend money on tools that improve productivity. Following battle testing in the virtual worlds of gaming, Whitebox will progress to safety-critical applications in the real world, where quality really matters as the cost of errors can be injury or death. Currently, we have an alpha version of Whitebox that early adopters have paid to use, and on which they're providing feedback. These include developers from major AAA game studios, including Blizzard and CD Projekt Red. These users, as well as others interested in Whitebox, have congregated on my online Discord community, where we discuss its future development. Whitebox has been recognised with the Young Innovators Award from Innovation UK and acceptance onto the BetaDen Tech Accelerator. BetaDen has been particularly helpful in establishing Whitebox as a brand, as well as providing mentorship and a peer group of other entrepreneurs. So if you're a member of or know any studios with 1 to 20 C or C++ developers, or computer science departments that will be interested in shaping the future of programming tools, please let me know. Or if you have any contacts with experience in bringing software to market, particularly in the game industry, then again, please let me know. If you would like to see more or get in touch, here's how you can do so. There is a more detailed demonstration of Whitebox in use on the website. I'm Andrew Reese from Whitebox Systems. Thank you very much for listening.
Thanks, Andrew. Next up, we have Gareth Watmore and Emily Bratt. Founder name, Drone Prep Limited. Drone Prep are preparing the world for a future with drones, and in BetaDen have built a data-rich geospatial platform to open up low-level airspace for pioneering drone use cases.
Thanks, Linda. I'm delighted to share more about Drone Prep, our team, journey and our progress at BetaDen. At Drone Prep, we are opening up low-level airspace for drone use, which leads us to today's ask. Come and collaborate with us. My name is Gareth Watmore and I'm CEO of Drone Prep. I have a background in transport planning. We have assembled a stellar team, all with brilliant and unique skills. So building the tech is serial entrepreneur and our CTO, Claire Owen, our innovation lead, Emily, who has a history of working in UAVs and surveying, our pilot and resident, Chris, who sits on the picture desk at the Telegraph, and Paul, our non-exec, has founded Consortic. He is an all-round aviation guru.
So why did we set up Drone Prep? Well, as you've probably seen all over the news, drones are becoming more real. The technology is maturing faster than ever before. For this, we need to make sure everyone is ready. We need to prepare the world for a future of drones. So how do we hope to achieve this? Well, we want to unlock the low-level airspace to enable the next generation of drone technology, build the future highways of the sky, define drone landing locations, use our platform to educate those engaged in the drone sector, build trust in the public, as I promise drones aren't there to spy on you, and become a principal data provider for unmanned traffic management systems.
Thanks, Emily. You're probably reflecting and thinking, that's a hell of a lot of mission statements for one software platform to deliver. But essentially, if we understand the multiple barriers of opening up low-level airspace, we can overcome the problem. This is the huge opportunity that we have at Drone Prep for the future of aviation and the sectors that it serves. So if you think about how conventional airspace works at the moment, nearly everything flies high. Manned aircraft operate typically point to point, from airport to airport, far above our heads. However, a new disruptive revolution of flight is upon us. Drones tend to operate in low-level airspace, which is rarely occupied by aircraft. The problem we have is how on earth do we integrate these drones safely and reasonably into this low-level airspace whilst navigating and overcoming the multiple valid reasons the public and those on the ground have to what can fly closer to us. It's a big, big problem to solve. We've already had a bit of practice during the last 6 years as hobby consumer drones have hit the market. At present, there is in excess of 220,000 drones in our skies and 56 million landowners beneath them. There has been some historic conflict because landowners do have a right to know what's going on immediately above their land, and this is the same airspace used by hobbyists. We've decided to solve that problem.
This is where the Drone Prep software comes in. At the start of our BetaDen journey, the Drone Prep software was in beta. Here, all 56 million land parcels were mapped with the idea that the drone community would click on any parcel of land and see the landowner's terms and conditions of flight. For example, if you wanted to fly at Kipling Hall, you would see they only accept drones on certain times and days of the year. This was our market validation. We have seen our membership grow and have welcomed all responses, being that both positive and negative. We have really learned what we have made is needed. This brings us to where we are today, version 1.0. This new software has incorporated all feedback and made it the best it can be, containing over 100 million rows of data with 3D perspective, triple SIs, Natural England and Crown Estate. We have it all and it is huge. Breaking it down into the software, it is split into two main parts. Firstly, there are drone pilots who can click on any parcel of land and see address data with the terms and conditions of flight. They can plan their flights with polygons and save it as you go. This can also be done in 3D, which I think is really cool. Can see any low-level airspace interactions with wildlife and FLZs. Landowners can click on their parcel of land and register their drone access policy. This will automatically update on the map for everyone to see. They can also register their drone delivery location with a relevant What 3 Words address. As the version has grown, the purpose behind it has too. We don't want to just reach the hobbyist market and landowners, we also want to help commercially. This will be end users, surveyors or drone delivery companies. We want to help you all. We've already had some incredible feedback, firstly from the CCO of Royal Mail, as you can see behind me, to a well-regarded RAE.
Yeah, thanks Emily. It's been really exciting to build the tech at BetaDen as it's so important in all we're doing. What we always say here is that we are not just a software company, and when you have a new technology, we actually have to lead, get out there and do some really amazing and pioneering things with drones to show why our software is relevant. In 2020, that's what we did. By joining forces with the brightest and best in the industry, we achieved the first ever NHS medical deliveries via drone, together with our partners in response to COVID-19. The video you can see in the background is the first delivery between Leon Solent and the Isle of Wight during Lockdown 1. We've since led on further projects in Lockdown 2 and 3 to push forward the capability with partners in the Isles of Scilly and Scotland. Altogether, these pioneering medical projects have secured us allocated grant funds of £400,000 and helped us to grow our company organically while showcasing to the world the power of our platform.
How amazing was that? Well, we didn't stop there. You probably saw right at the very end of 2020, we led a consortium of Royal Mail, What Free Words and Skyports to help Royal Mail to deliver their first package by drone to a remote lighthouse on the Isle of Mull. So you're wondering, how does this come together? Well, Drone Prep identifies homes suitable for drone delivery. What Free Words provides a precise address system for drones to take off and land. Skyports bring it all together using their cutting-edge drones to deliver packages right to your door. Here at Drone Prep, we hope that it's coming together advanced tech and fast-forward thinking is paving the way for safe, speedy deliveries. To achieve this growth of our software, company and projects, we couldn't have done it without the support of BetaDen and our mentors. The mentors have steered our tech build, connected us to local software developers and amplified all of our achievements in local and national press. If you pardon the pun, they've helped us to skyrocket. And it's not just BetaDen that are behind us. There's lots of people on our advisory board and businesses.
Yeah, so the big ask for us is around collaboration and new partners so we can grow our tech and the sector. So if you're a company, organisation, university or tech provider, do you want to be one of those early adopters and join the great list of companies on the last slide? Do you want to share and grow with us? Do you want to do amazing things in the drone sector? And if you're a landowner, do you want to tell us if you are receptive to drones flying from your property and explore the new opportunities that drone tech presents? And if you're a resident, do you want to register your drone delivery landing location on the platform for parcel delivery by drone? You could be amongst the first residents in the world to receive a parcel. If you want to do any of these things, here are our contact details. Please reach out. We look forward to hearing from you.
Thanks, Gareth and Emily. Next up, we have Tom Fenton, founder name Verifim Limited. Verifim have developed a fast and simple tool used to verify the thermal performance of buildings prior to occupation. This new technology solution is opening up a huge new market against the backdrop of the global energy agenda and next generation construction sector requirements.
Hello, my name's Tom Fenton and I'm co-founder and CEO of Verifim. I'm here today to talk to you about our unique testing solution that is revolutionising the way we measure energy performance in homes and buildings. So first, some background on who we are. We're a family-run technology company with an extensive background in the construction sector. We are hugely passionate about low-carbon buildings, and we're a Cohort 3 member at BetaDen. The programme has allowed us to take our minimum viable product and convert it into a full end-to-end digital service that's being used on housing schemes across the UK. Here's the problem we're looking to address. Currently, our homes and buildings are using a significant amount of energy and produce 1/3 of the UK's total emissions. But unlike other sectors, we fail to measure and verify that our buildings perform to the intended design before they become operational. It's crazy to think that a £200 washing machine or a £20,000 car can go through more rigorous testing procedures for energy efficiency than a £200,000 home. This lack of testing and verification is creating what is known as the performance gap. Research has shown that homes often underperform compared to their EPC rating, on average by 2 to 3 times, with fuel bills and CO2 emissions being increased by the same factor. This energy performance gap is largely due to inconsistencies in the building fabric, such as poorly fitted insulation, thermal bridging, and the use of inferior products. But buildings have a life expectancy of 150 years, which is leaving a legacy of underperforming assets. If we fail to quantify and minimise this performance gap, carbon budgets cannot be met, and our buildings will continue to damage our environment and cost us a huge amount of money in uplifted energy bills. So what is our solution? We have developed Verifim, a method to physically measure building performance following a single night of testing.
Verifim can assess whether a building has the thermal properties that are specified in the design and gives you a true indication of energy efficiency. This could be to ensure compliance at handover between construction and management of a building, or at other times, such as checking the effect of a major refit or for correctly sizing a low-carbon heating system. Our smart platform and low-cost testing equipment have revolutionised building performance measurement, making it quick, simple and affordable. Our Verifim solution has been endorsed by the UK government, and we are now working with a wide range of clients on both private and public sector housing projects. So what's driving the need for Verifim? We have seen the recent announcement of a green recovery plan that puts a huge emphasis on making our buildings greener, warmer and more energy efficient. The new Future Home Standards stipulates the requirement for as-built energy models to be accurate and reflective of real-world building performance. And there is now a British standard for building performance evaluation being written, which will increase visibility and standardisation of in-situ testing methods in favour of desktop modelling such as EPC. We have trialled and tested the market before making our Verifim solution widely available. Are you interested in adding Verifim to your existing range of services? Verifim offers the opportunity to increase revenue whilst adding a highly innovative and unrivaled testing service to your business. We are looking for approved testing agents to join us on our journey. Could your clients and projects benefit from our smart thermal measurement services? This is an ideal opportunity for compliance testers, building surveyors, domestic energy assessors, and many, many more. We're also looking for partners. Are you interested in testing your own buildings, products, or services with our Verifim solution? Verifim allows you to understand the performance of your assets, assess the quality and standards of your own work and that of third parties, use real-world data to allow informed decision-making and strategy, identify problems with your buildings early and before handover, and understand, quantify and minimise the performance gap within your organisation. Real-world measurement, testing and verification of building energy performance has a huge role to play in the coming decade and beyond. If this is of interest, please get in touch, and thank you very much for listening.
Thanks, Tom. Impressive, inspirational, and of course interesting. So you see, nothing could stop Worcestershire's technology accelerator in action. And as you have heard, these all have real development and growth potential, created locally, but with global application opportunities in mind. Now it's more crucial than ever to broaden the BetaDen support. Economic recovery will be challenging enough beyond 2021, but with a commercial accelerator model based in the county that can be adapted and expanded to include additional commercial development packages, such as an entrepreneurship model, we know BetaDen will grow to support future local prosperity and grow strong technology businesses right here. It is important to note that BetaDen will be delivering technology-specific cohort programs locally, nationally, and in the future, internationally, on core emerging technology and challenges driven by industry sponsorship and investor agendas. Finally, on behalf of the BetaDen team, can I say thank you to the specialist mentors and coaches for their support, for adapting and delivering the programme of subject expertise and delivering the evidence in this showcase. Richard Slade of Brand Refinery, Ice Blue, Digital Marketing, BetaDen's Advisory Board, and Simon de Garis, the Worcestershire County Council Proof of Concept Project Manager. In the meantime, thank you for your support and your time today. If you would like to follow up with any of the cohort founders, please contact the BetaDen team. We'll now move to the Q&A session. Again, a reminder, please submit your questions using the live chat to the right of the screen. Now you get to meet our founders. Let's open the questions. And we hope all of you in our audience today are massively impressed with the range and calibre of the exciting emerging technologies presented and the phenomenal progress made by each founder in BetaDen's Commercial Tech Accelerator. This is hard work, but productive work. The focus on developing products and service solutions to support the global digital technology markets are being demonstrated here at BetaDen, right in the heart of Worcestershire. Let's get to the questions for our Cohort 3 founders. As you can see, all on the screen, ready to take your questions. So we have a question really probably directed first of all to Verifim and Vojo. Are you looking for investment from clean tech or climate tech specific funds or angel groups? So can I perhaps come to Phil first of all for that? Sorry, to Tom, beg your pardon.
No worries, Linda. We're always speaking with investment groups. Currently, our short-term investment requirements has been satisfied, but we are definitely open to have conversations with those types of groups as we move into our scale up in years 2 and 3.
Sorry, can I come to Ellie? Could you answer that question, please?
Yes, definitely. One of our main impact metrics is about helping people reduce their impact on the climate through eating more plant-based. They would definitely be interested.
Fantastic. Okay, let's move on to the next question. So it's really a question to perhaps Whitebox and Blockmark. Are you looking to establish a core team before seeking investment? So can I come to Blockmark first of all, to Adrian, please, for that?
Yep, thanks, Linda. Yeah, so at the moment, we're not seeking investment in the very short term. Our plan actually is to get customer traction and roll the product out properly. Then once we understand that business model, we'll be raising investment.
Okay, and to Andrew at Whitebox, please.
Yeah, in short, yes, we're actively looking to establish a core team. We're not looking for investment right at this moment, but if anyone is, any investors are out there and interested, happy to have that conversation.
I was going to say, show me the money. That's what we want, definitely. I've got a question in for drone prep here from Matthew Richards of Steertide. The question is, are drone prep working with specialist drone manufacturers such as Manor? Can I come to you, Gareth, please, for that?
Of course you can. So yeah, thank you for the question. The quick answer is we're working with everyone at the moment that's got a viable solution in the UK for drone delivery, and one of our partners actually is recently invested in the Manor platform. So yeah, the quick answer is yes.
Okay, thank you. And then a more generic question to the wider kind of cohort. So if investment is being sought, are detailed plans in place, and how and where would it be spent? So I think for those of you that are in that space, can I kind of reach out probably to you first of all? So who would like to pick this up? Can I come to Van from an investment point of view?
Yeah, sure. We have extremely detailed plans of how it's going to be spent. That said, we're only kind of we're at this early stages of looking for investment at the moment, and we're speaking to a number of angel investors. So if anybody is genuinely interested, then yeah, we'd like to have that conversation. But yeah, I mean, the spreadsheet that John's put together is extremely detailed, where it goes so detailed that I think a lot of people know in these early stages, you know, there's a lot of guesswork that happens. So yeah.
Thanks a lot. Anybody else want to jump in to answer? Steve, can I come to you at Telr, please?
Thanks, Linda. Yeah, it's a really good question, that one, because some of the businesses are looking for investment and others aren't. So we've got a business that we acquired, so we're looking to accelerate it based on its current cash flow. But if we had, as per our pitch, someone who's from a marketing background or an operations background who wanted to co-invest in a business, they would bring their magic as well as some of their capital, and we can show them the business plan and the current cash flow and how that might be able to be accelerated with their support.
Thanks, Steve. Okay, I'm going to move on to the next one, unless anyone got a burning answer to that. I've got a question from Nick Tudor of D-Risk, and it's directed to Blockmark. The question of it is, can you use the Blockmark product for software products?
Yes, thank you, Nick. Absolutely, and in fact, one of the big problems with certification is the digital to physical divide, where you're trying to certify physical objects because there's that disjoint. So when you're talking about software, because it's already digital, it's actually better to be able to certify using our platform, and that can be the IP license agreement, or it can actually be it's sort of the origin and its its pedigree.
Okay, thank you. And to our audience, please keep the questions flowing, because you can pop it into the chat and we can obviously feed it into the cohort question Q&A session. So any questions, if you have direct questions for one of the cohort members, again, if you want contact and a conversation post this session, again, please drop your email into the chat and we'll direct your contact to the founder you want the conversation with, or just use the info@beta-den.com generic email and we'll put you in contact. So I've got a question here for Andrew at Whitebox. Does Whitebox work with web development languages as well as games and applications?
Hi, Greg. Yeah, so Whitebox currently only works with C and C++ for desktop applications. But it's also written to be expandable to new languages. So it depends a little bit on how demand settles out, but it's definitely an option in the future.
Okay, thank you. Question for drone prep here from TE2 Consulting from Derek Cunningham. You mentioned that lower airspace is currently unmanaged and you recognise it's not unused. Do you think lower airspace will become highly controlled?
It's a really good question. So thank you for that, Derek. We think there is potential for that, yes, because the revolution we've got with drones and the tech that's available is absolutely fantastic. And if we're to have drone deliveries from Royal Mail and others, we need an overarching system, which we call UTM, unmanned traffic management, where drones can essentially talk to aircraft. And we're one of the players to do with low-level airspace, where we're a data provider to UTM, along with lots of other talented companies that are solving other problems. So I think that's likely, but we've got to do it in a measured and safe way that everyone's happy with.
Okay, thanks very much, Gareth. Here's a broader question now in relation to 5G and future 5G usage. So our project manager has asked, in Malvern Hills Science Park, 5G is being deployed. How do some of the cohort founders, where the technology is going to potentially roll out 5G, how do you see 5G supporting your business in the development of your product or solution? And will the availability of 5G matter? Perhaps I could position that to Steve at Telr, please.
Yeah, 5G is a really interesting technology because it actually sits really well alongside 4G. So for applications like drone prep, for example, where you need very fast, very low latency data, you'll need 5G for that low latency. For the remaining businesses on this cohort, 5G will give us better bandwidth and better connectivity, but most of us could probably work our applications on 4G. But Internet of Things, drones, anything like vehicles, autonomous systems, 5G will be a game changer for those businesses.
Thank you. And the other founders want to respond to the 5G potential question.
Just from our perspective, Linda, as Steve mentioned there, Internet of Things is huge for us. Obviously, we deploy smart sensors within properties, and yeah, that availability and connectivity will obviously help Verifim to scale and grow in all corners of the UK. So yeah, we're all for it here at Verifim.
Okay, as I said, good to know. And obviously for any of our Cohort 4 founders who are listening in today, I know that that's a critical pathway for many of you joining Cohort 4. So it's great to kind of have the collaboration with the Worcestershire 5G testbed test and evaluation on site here at our HQ. So that's good too. We've got some things coming in for Coho here. Probably, again, a couple of questions that are really kind of more about the principle of the HMO kind of modelling. One question from one of our non-exec directors on the Worcestershire LEP board has asked, with increased regulation to reference to modern slavery and gangmaster regulations, The product for multiple occupancy may help operators to ensure compliance and trivial management. Maybe worth exploring relevant enforcement agency information? ? So is that something that is covered, Van, that you can pick that question up?
Okay, so yeah, my thoughts on that is that part of the reason why Coho has such an opportunity is because of the amount of regulation regarding HMOs. There's so much to do, and they're recognised as being extremely difficult to manage. So what we wanted to do was provide a product that allowed people to really easily sort of abide by those regulations. When it gets to that point, well, I guess we are at that point, we want to start speaking to different councils and the HMO officers and seeing if you know, Coho is something that can be kind of endorsed as if you're running an HMO, if you tick all of the boxes that we're popping up of the actions that have to be done, then your property is compliant. So yeah, it is something we want to explore.
Okay, and another question in from Matt Lane of ZX Ventures. He compliments you all on your fantastic presentations, which we're all very proud of too, your delivery, so well done on that. What traction has Coho had so far? How many landlords are using the platform in this first stage?
Yes, so we launched in January. I think there are over 100 accounts. I think there's well over 100 accounts, and they're using it in varying degrees. So in these first few months, our main focus at the moment is figuring out how people are using it and to get the ones that are using it to use it more before we try and expand to get more and more users.
Okay. I'm going to pose a question to Phil. Are you able to answer, Phil? I know that you've got a busy afternoon, so are you able to answer a short question in relation to Hetronomics? So the scalability of Hetronomics is the question for something as so specialised as your platform offer. What kind of collaboration or relationships are of interest to Hetronomics?
Yeah, so the research market is a pretty large one outside of the macro space, sort of 20 billion a year roughly. We have a pretty niche part of it in terms of the inflation and monetary policy side that we've been growing out. The platform itself is something that we can leverage all over the world, though, both in terms of the macro coverage, but also building out into more of a strategy product and related investment side. So we have got some plans to build out the property part, for example. Collaboration-wise, kind of white label opportunities are more where we're looking to go with it, and also sort of as an aspect of that, providing the kind of infrastructure that we are running into certain hedge funds and banks. So instead of them spending huge amounts of money to develop their own risk models, we can provide something better on a fully maintained basis for a lot less money.
Okay, as I said, very niche product, but as I said, a very particular area that for the fintech markets need to be kind of considering in this next emerging space. So very interesting. Okay, we've got some more questions flowing in now. Daniel Evans from Birmingham Enterprise Community has asked, other than those mentioning funding and future investment, do any of the Cohort 3 have asks that you're currently seeking, so partnerships, talent, etc.? So perhaps this is an opportunity to just kind of quickly go round the 8 founders just to kind of come.
We're looking for any tech partnerships to fully implement our technology from the prototype that we currently have to a full MVP.
Thanks. Tom Fenton, please.
We are looking for testing engineers, so the capacity to deliver Verifim testing at scale has kind of exceeded our abilities here. So we need people all over the country to help us deliver testing, and obviously there's opportunity to generate a lot of revenue whilst you're doing that. So that's our main ask. Our second ask is for partners. So we're looking for stock owners. So whether you're a housing association, a local authority, we want you to implement performance testing onto your building so you can help to close the performance gap.
Andrew at Whitebox.
Hi, so along with the asks from the presentation, which were the companies and universities interested in getting in on the ground floor of new software development technology and expanding the team with people bringing software to market, we'd also be very interested in any sales partners, particularly.
Thank you.
Thank you.
As I said, I want this as a quick fire round, so quick responses, quick asks, okay? Adrian Burden at Blockmart, please.
Yeah, so we're really keen to work with organisations that issue certificates at the moment, so we can build out some case studies. So they could be membership organisations, people that issue accreditation, people that have products and services that they want to certify.
Okay, Steve at Telr.
Yeah, we've got a roadmap chock full of features for the software, and we want software engineers to help us build the features, marketing people to help us market the features, and partners to help us resell those applications around the world.
Thank you. Phil, if you're able to join. I said, I'm sorry, I know you're busy doing other things. Okay.
Yeah, the joys of the Norges Bank and the Bank of England, but they've both gone very, very well today. Yeah, so we're looking for customers to enjoy the sort of insights that we shared with clients ahead of the events today and that they've profited from. Beyond that, it's future colleagues as we look to expand into our coverage in the US and ASEAN. We're going to need some new skilled people, both on the economics and increasingly on the strategy side.
Thank you. Gareth at Drone Prep, please.
I'll be short and sweet because we asked quite a lot in our presentation, but at the moment we've just taken on a whole load of new work from Royal Mail and we need to grow the team. So we are recruiting for a land partnerships manager and we're recruiting for a marketing manager. So any ideas, please ping over CVs. We'd love to hear from you.
Thank you. And last but not least, Coho. Van asks for Coho.
Yes, so if you know anybody with HMOs, please let them know about Coho. And then our second focus is in the next 12 months, we want to do a much larger investment round. So if that's something that's of interest, let me know. And if you have an angel investor that wants to get in before that point, to try and get us to that point, again, get in touch.
Thank you. That's nice and fast and efficient there. Okay, more singular focus question now to Drone Prep. What are the long-term plans or implications for your platform to both drone use and drone adoption, if you're able to share?
Hi, Richard. Thanks for that question. Gosh, the long-term adoption. So we're right at the very beginning of this exciting sector, and our platform is an enabling one. So if we all grow together, the opportunities are huge, and just for Drone Prep, and not only Drone Prep, but the whole sector. So I mean, we spoke before about UTM. That's probably where things are headed. But the more we do things together, the more we showcase things like the medical deliveries and the Royal Mail deliveries, the bigger the sector gets. So the world is your oyster, essentially.
Thank you. Here's quite a challenging question for Coho here from Duncan Sutcliffe of Sutcliffe & Co Insurance Brokers. With Coho, with changes in the way we work, and my goodness, we've certainly all been in that space in the last 12 months, could your product be sued for offices of multiple occupation?
I mean, it could, yes. It could be, I think he means used. I think, used for offices and multiple.
Not sued, beg your pardon.
Yeah, typo. Yeah,
practice, I think, beg your pardon.
Yeah, it could be used for offices, but the challenge is so big that we're already facing with co-living and HMOs that we'd want to stay sort of laser focused on what we're doing.
Thank you. Okay, I hope that answers. And again, another good suggestion from one of our non-exec directors. Things about the certification for Blockmark through interested in airlines and suppliers to airlines require additional checks for air passes, etc. So anything you want to comment back on that one, Adrian?
Yes, thanks for the suggestions. I can see those in the chat. Yeah, and also, of course, with the COVID vaccination certificates, there's a lot of interest at the moment in health certification, which, of course, the airlines are looking at, and the cruise liners and so forth. So we are in discussions with a number of companies there. If anybody has any direct contacts and would like to put us in touch, that would be really helpful. Thanks.
Okay, thank you. And again, we're getting some really great feedback through the chat for those of you who are a bit too shy to ask questions, but certainly there's a lot of collaboration asks coming through, which is great to see from both former BetaDen alumni and again, trying to kind of get more of the tech ecosystem going here. So really, really good. And I think here's a question now from Richard Nichols. Of Airwards has asked, to all of you, in a few words or one sentence, what have you found the value is of being part of something such as BetaDen? So again, quick fire round the 8 of you. Could we please start with Steve at Telr?
I think the cohort peers is invaluable.
Phil?
Yeah, the network, mentors in particular, gave us some nice access to people, some of whom we are continuing to work with as we move on into the great beyond.
Thank you. Adrian?
Yeah, it was actually the ability to run a pilot with the cohort and BetaDen really helped us work out that particular part of the product.
Okay, Gareth?
Yeah, thanks, Richard. So the best thing to say is there's nothing more isolating than being a founder. You know, you're out there on your own, and the best thing about BetaDen is you're not on your own. You've got a big team around you full of supportive people. They want you to grow in Worcestershire. They're absolutely fantastic. So, you know, little promotion there for Cohort 5 whenever you advertise for that, but thoroughly recommended. It's a joy to be here. So thank you all the team at BetaDen.
Okay, Ellie, can we come to you?
Yeah, also the network. So the mentors and the cohort, like being a sole founder especially, it's so great to have all those people around you.
Thank you. Van, please, at Coho.
Yeah, I mean, the challenges we had at the start of BetaDen compared to now, it's adapted and evolved a lot, and BetaDen's support network of mentors and the other cohorts people have been there to really help as this has evolved. It's been really useful.
Thank you. And Tom, please.
Yeah, similar to everyone else, really. I think the program has allowed us to fill the gaps to allow us to truly scale up as a business. So, yeah.
Thank you. And finally, Andrew.
Yeah, I think it's been access to the mentors and peer groups, filling in all the unknowns around legals and business process.
Okay, as I said, so great endorsements there, and the reason why we do it and why I'm still using plenty of hair dye. Okay, there was one more question in for drone prep from Matthew Richards of Steertight. Is drone prep involved in any military applications or conversations that you can share in this open forum?
Well, the Official Secrets Act usually with the military, isn't it? No. So first of all, I mean, our whole ethos here is drones for good. So we only concentrate on positive use cases for drones. But you know, one of our advisors is Chief Pharmacist at the RAF. She's helped incredibly with our medical projects. There's a lot of scope for us helping out with Aeromed in the military, and we've had a lot of conversations so far about that, but also about their land assets and protecting them from counter-terrorism issues as well. So there is a role that Drones for Good can play within a military context, and we would be there to support that.
Thank you. Okay, I think we're almost there. Unless any of the cohort have anything they really do need to get off their chest right at this point, because we're in the closing couple of minutes now. Okay, well, I think it's a big well done from me as CEO of BetaDen to all 8 members of Cohort 3. Phenomenal job. As I said, 8 started this program and 8 have completed. And we've got a hand up. There we go. You've got 1 minute. Okay.
I've got less than 1 minute. I just wanted to thank our wonderful graduate, Emily Bratt, for stepping in and doing the presentation with us. She's been absolutely superb from the University of Worcester, and I'm really proud of how she's I
was going to say, University of Worcester doing a great job. As I said, 2 of the BetaDen team are ex-Uni of Worcester as well. So yeah, we're loving the talent and the energy they bring, but especially, as you said, Emily did a really great job with the presentation and what she does for drone prep. So I think we're there. And for our audience who have stayed the course today, we really do appreciate you registering and joining this showcase, this virtual showcase. Thank you to all of the teams behind Cohort 3 presentations today, because there are 8 on screen, but there are many people behind each of you, whether that is family, friends, support network, and members of your team. So we know what a stupendous effort goes into keeping these companies on track. And my goodness, if ever there was a year to keep a tech early stage business on track, 2020 certainly kind of tested all ends of that scope. So well done. And thank you to my team, the BetaDen team, for delivering our second virtual showcase. We really hope that next time we can bring you a physical event. We always designed from our Cohort 1, this would be a great showcase with lots of razzmatazz as we delivered in Cohort 1. But times are different, aren't they? So 2 virtual showcases, and this one, as I said, we get bigger and better every time. So I think the team have done a great job in putting it together. And if you want more, please register for our next event, which is really our kind of generic series, which we call Tech Tuesday. And the next one is on the 6th of April at midday with BetaDen's new industry partner, SteerTight, who are also our industry partner who will be working with Cohort 4. And they bring to the talk on Tuesday the 6th their collaboration partner, Intel. The topic is edge computing and AI, and how embedded computing has evolved to the edge with increased intelligence and connectivity. So a really hot topic in the emerging tech space. And again, we're lucky to have the support of SteerTight, who are going to bring, again, a real commercial innovation dynamic to that talk. So if you'd like to join that, just register through our website. So that's it. Thank you, and thank you to Cohort 3. I really hope all of you listening today have enjoyed, but will take away the relevant area of interest you're interested in. And as I said earlier, if you want to continue a one-on-one conversation with any of these businesses, and my goodness, they're up for the conversation, you can either contact them direct or come through the info at beta-den. There'll be a holding slide when we finish the broadcast today. So you can reach them immediately. They are waiting to hear from you, and we really, really want to grow our network too. So thank you for your time, and thank you, Cohort 3. Well done. Okay, bye-bye.